Namaste everybody, I hope you're doing well. My name is Eddie Toro. And I'm a Colombian American, born and raised in the US. Let me tell you a little bit more in a moment. I've been in Colombia for over 27 years, and on this channel I make videos for expats who are considering relocating to Medellin or Rio Negro and the metro area of Rio Negro. I'm in the metro area of Rio Negro right now. This is Marinilla here. I also make videos about life, about yoga, meditation, mountain biking and hiking. And if you want my services for relocation tours or just as a vacationer here, walking tours, my information is right here to contact me. Let's go into the video. Christmas time, December. It's Big Ben, it's Big Ben, or it's Big Marinilla. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be talking about Stoicism, who is a Stoic person, and basically the idea is for people 50 and over, 50 or 60. Don't get a girlfriend, don't get a boyfriend, don't get married unless, and at the end I'll tell you why the unless is. So let's get into this. So for those of you who don't know what Stoicism is, it's an ancient Greek and Roman philosophy focused on living a virtuous life by developing self-control. I'm reading this because can't remember everything. Reason and resilience to external events. It teaches that happiness comes from within. Oh yeah. By focusing on what you can't control and what you can control. What you can control and can't control. Even thoughts. I mean, basically, I can't read it all, but what you can control, which are your thoughts and actions. Those are about the only things you can control in a sense. And accepting that you cannot, what? Of course, the basic idea is accepting that you can, basically that you can control your thoughts and actions, and accepting what you cannot control, which is everything else in general. So, and basically, living a lot with nature. Let's focus on what I'm seeing as I walk. So basically the key principles include living in accordance with nature, developing the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice and temperance, and cultivating inner tranquility, inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas. So basically focus on what you can control. That basically means differentiate between what is within your power or your reach to control, like your judgments, thoughts and actions, and what is not, external events, like you get fired, your girlfriend leaves you, your car breaks down, you cannot control that. And other people's behavior, you cannot control other people's behavior. I've tried in the past and it's just a waste of time. Right now it's December 3rd. And they're gonna inaugurate this on December 7th or the 8th. But by the time you see this video, it's past that date. So also cultivate virtues, accept what you cannot control, all these things. So that's Stoicism as best as I can tell you. Or read to you. It is pretty, isn't it? Christmas in Colombia is pretty. I don't know what this is supposed to represent, but they're still working on these things and working on the power lines, all that good stuff. And the little river that flows here in Marinilla through this part of town. So let's talk about the 7 habits of highly stoic people. Let's see if you have them in all of this, if you have all 7 or if you have a few of them. The first one says that stoic people don't worry about things they have no control over. It's a practice. You have to put this into practice. At the beginning it's going to be hard because we're warriors. not warriors, but worriers. I know I've been one for such a long time, but now a whole lot less. A whole lot less than in the past. Ta-da! So a Stoic knows it is silly to waste their time worrying about things they cannot control. They put things that happen to them into one of two buckets: what they can control and what they cannot control. So act upon what you can control and forget about what you cannot control. They don't, number two, they don't allow themselves to be taken by surprise. So it says a Stoic person prepares themselves for the bad behavior of others. Why? Because they know that it is nature, the nature of people. And so it is natural, not nature, natural for people to behave badly. That is what people do all the time, every single day. And Stoics never allow themselves to get upset over things that occur frequently. And I have been one that has gotten so angry frequently due to my father's behavior, some of his family members' behavior. I just want to stomp them, but nowadays I'm doing a whole lot better by worrying a whole lot less and just brushing it off quickly when I start worrying, when I catch myself worrying about that. Number three, queso and cafe. No, number three is they remain calm in the face of chaos. Oops. And I've been doing a lot better on that front. A lot of people just worry like crazy, get angry or get all nervous in the face of chaos. But a Stoic remains calm when things go sideways. When things go sideways, your car breaks down or your computer breaks down or you drop your phone and you break it. And so things are going sideways for you and you get all angry, nervous, or fearful and whatever, or that because you come down with a disease, or they detect that you have some kind of cancer growing in you or stuff like that as a woman or a man, and then you start worrying about, oh, I'm gonna die and whatever. A Stoic remains calm in the face of these things, basically. So they know that getting upset or worrying will do nothing to help a bad situation. That's what a Stoic does. So they remain at ease, accepting things as they are, and get to work on a situation. And if there is no remedy or let's say way to solve the problem, then just let it go. That's a Stoic for you. In case you didn't know, Marinija is built, a part of the town, a large part of the town is built on a hillside. That's why this street is like this. It's a big climb. Puff and puff. Marinija is known as the Sparta of Colombia. You know, like Sparta of Greece, or whatever it was, the 300 fighting Spartans. Colombia, this town of Marinija, is known as that because of the War of Independence. Well, you can look up the history. They sent a lot of fighting men brave because they volunteered back in those days, so they got that reputation. So number four, Stoics are happy. Men and women that are Stoics are happy with what they have. So a lot of people are not happy with what they have, and they want more. And when they can't get more, they're getting angry. They're like, oh man, why do they have more than me and I want to have what they have? Getting all angry, cranky, wanky. But the Stoics stand out by standing still. They don't chase after possessions. You will not see Stoics driving in a fancy car or wearing the latest fashions. Now I have something to say about that. If you have it, why not? But not going crazy about it, and you can still remain a Stoic. So they keep it simple. Simple cars, simple clothes, simple lifestyle. But it doesn't mean that every Stoic has to be like that. I mean, if you have a lot of money as a Stoic woman or a Stoic man, and you want to pamper yourself a little bit with a very nice brand new Toyota Land Cruiser TXL that, you know, will get you around everywhere and not going to be a problem for many years, why not? But if you have a lot of money, then Stoics can be millionaires or billionaires. Well, I don't know about billionaires, but millionaires, and just do a lot of philanthropy, a lot of work, helping out people to do better in life in terms of personal inner growth. So basically the Stoics realize they already have everything that truly matters. They know that when you are happy with what you have, you never need more than what you have. This is the school right here. They're just coming for report card day. All right, point number 5 here in Marinija. They accept everything that happens. They don't fight what happens. But a lot of people like myself in the past, and even maybe recently, of course, I'm not perfect. We fight what happens to us when it's something we don't want, when it's something unwanted or undeserved or whatever it is we think. So people who don't practice Stoicism are always upset with their current situation. But the Stoic, on the other hand, accepts things exactly as they are. They know there is no possible way things could be different than they are at this very moment. So why get angry over it? Why blow your head? Why blow a lid? Why blow a head gasket? You know, so Stoics put their focus on how they can influence the future and accept the present moment just as it is. So I accept these things these days now, and I've had a lot of crap happening to me in the last 6 months of this 2025, and and ever since Nepal, since last year in 2024, I had a lot of difficulties health-wise happening there to me. And even in India before I got to Nepal, and I was angry and lashing out at the people that were doing some bad things to me, but I was not accepting. I had lost my cool. I had gone backwards in terms of what I was practicing, even though I don't consider myself anything, but let's say I might fit the bill with some of these points of being a stoic man. Point number 6. Let's go this way. Stoics listen more than they speak. I'm working on that. I am definitely working on that because I've been too much of a chatterbox, a rambling man, you know, just too much of a talker, just wanting to talk a lot with people. But I've been more conscious of that. I want to be more of a listener, or just like 95% listener and 5% speaker in any conversation that is going on with people. So this is point number 6. So most people talk more than they listen, and that's true, and I've been one of them. But the Stoic holds conversations differently. They are the quiet ones who listen intently. They give the other person space to speak. They know that by speaking they will not learn anything new. They can only learn by listening. And these are very wise words or a wise message. Right now I'm doing a lot of speaking because I'm making this video and giving you some information, stuff that I researched. I'm reading it off my phone. Like I said when I started talking about these things, I'm not here pretending that I got this memory that is photographic and I remember everything I read about. And I've read it twice, but it just doesn't work that way. I wonder if any of them are Stoics. They look old enough to maybe be Stoics. These are all the retirees. So let's talk about point number 7 here in Marinija, the town square. They do not fear death. I definitely fit that bill. I do not fear death. Actually, I think about death every day, all the time. I've been thinking about death since I was 14 years old. But in those days, until for many years, it was more like in a pessimistic, in a dark way. But now, in the last few years, I've been thinking about death positively. Ever since I basically went to Varanasi in 2019 in India, Banaras or Kashi, I prefer that name, Kashi. Varanasi is the second one I prefer. And I remember being at the cremation ghats, the Manikarnika cremation ghats there, and looking at the holy fire that has been burning for more than 3,500 years there in the city of Shiva on the Gangama River or Ganges River. And I saw how all those bodies were being burnt. The person or the soul was not in there anymore. So I don't fear death. There was a time when I feared death and I wanted death, but I feared it at the same time at some moments. Now I don't fear death. I haven't feared death for many years. I'm just trying to take care of my health as best as I can so I can be here for the doggies. You've heard that story before, the dogs. So Stoics do not fear death. But most people in life, most people fear death. Fearful of death. People don't want to die. They think it's the end of everything. I get it, I get it. So the typical person fears death. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to think about it. The specter of their own death hangs over them, and they refuse to face the fact they will die. But a Stoic actually thinks about their own death often. They take time to reflect upon their mortality and the fact that they will one day die. I know that one day it's not me that will die. It is this body, this physical body that will die, but not me. I am eternal as a soul, but that's another story. So it sounds depressing, but actually it is inspiring if you know how to go about it and not fear it, but accept it. The Tibetans, with the Tibetan Book of the Dead and everything, and Tibetan Buddhism, they prepare for death. They don't fear it. They talk about it. They embrace it. And they all, in general, there might be a few that do fear it anyhow, but they embrace death in Tibet. So now that you know a little bit about these 7 habits of highly Stoic people, and you know what a Stoicism is and everything, at the end of this video, in a few moments, when I'm back home and not here in town anymore, I will tell you why it is best not to have a boyfriend or girlfriend after 50, especially if you're 50s or 60s in terms of age. I will tell you that from the country house. See you in a moment. Say goodbye to Marinija. Funny things, I'm listening to Ozzy Osbourne's song Going Through Changes, and we're all going through changes. I'll just say that I'm gonna stay away from having a woman in my life, or girlfriend, unless she really crosses all my T's and dots all my I's, because my inner peace, my life, my things are that important to me. Just did some shopping here on the way home for the dogs. Not for me. Well, a few things for me here. Ara. If you're ever here in Colombia, living in Colombia, Ara. And if you're already living in Colombia, Ara. Alegría al mejor precio. Happiness at the best price. I don't know about that, but it does save a pretty penny here. I don't know if I'm a Stoic, but I do love living in nature, and I just don't want to go out that often, even during the month of December when it's very festive here in Colombia. I bought a big old package of lentils because I cook for the dogs, and I might make lentils once in the blue moon for me, and 2 big packages of rice. They come in small little 500-gram bags, and the stuff for the dogs. And yeah, well, this is about Stoicism, living in nature, and this is what I do for the dogs. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat any of this but chicken niblets, some chicken fillet for Venus, and some chicken's feet and necks. And I have to cook all this stuff. I'm a vegetarian, but I gotta do what I gotta do, you know. I accept life as it is. I'm taking care of the dogs. I don't go crazy anymore, but at the beginning I was going nuts. Now, ain't Colombia just pretty for you? It's pretty for me. Antioquia, baby. Now that's the welcome my kids give me when I'm getting home. I love nature, part of their Stoic life. Hey girl, sweetie, nag it up, nag it up. I gotta bring the truck in a moment. It's just I gotta go with the process. Venga para acá. Venga. Come on, baby. Go in. Go. Barty, leave her alone. Leave her alone. It really is pretty. The countryside here in Colombia in the Andes Mountains. This is the longest mountain range in the world, longer than the Himalayas. Not higher in elevation, but longer. All the way from Colombia, all the way down to Argentina, and I think Chile or whatever it is they say. And I hope I was able to include the original music when I was driving in the truck. If not, then it's probably I decided to, when I'm editing, not right now, but when I'm editing, to do the just silence it and get whatever music. So I live somewhat of a stoic life. I wouldn't consider myself anything except a soul living a human experience. But if you want to label me whatever you want to label me as, do it. Right, Lalita? And Lalito right there. And Sundari over there. And Venus. And Kayla's coming. So I'm going to read the blueprint to, you know, if you want to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend after 50 and stuff like that, or even get married. And this can apply even to people younger than 50, because, you know, some of us, it took us this long. It has taken me this long to come to this point of inner peace, a lot of inner peace and freedom from the status quo and the competing with the Joneses and whatever and all that I just got all that stupid stuff out of my head. So let's see what it says here. It says, so basically, if you are considering having a boyfriend or girlfriend because is something really aligning with you, here it is. If it's not, don't do it. Don't sacrifice your inner peace, your freedom, and your purposes, your things in life, your aspirations, whatever you want to call it, just to be in a relationship with a woman or a man. Oh, never enter a relationship from weakness, loneliness or fear. I repeat, never enter a relationship from weakness, loneliness or fear. Only enter from strength, self-respect, and full awareness. So strength is calling about inner strength. It's not talking about the muscle. And if you want some help, ask Ganesh, the remover of obstacles, if you want to go down that road. Like, I'm more like that White Snake song, and here I go again on my own. Anyhow, Venus is like, what are you talking about, brother? Because she's my sister. She's my dad's girl, my dad's daughter. What am I talking about? So she's my sister. So a stoic person chooses. They don't cling. They don't chase. They don't bargain. They don't shrink. You don't shrink for another person's happiness or content or satisfaction. That's not true happiness, not for you and not for that person. The relationship sucks if you're doing that. A stoic person evaluates. They observe. They decide from clarity, not from emotional hunger. Don't be emotionally hungry for, I need to be with a woman. I need to be with a man. I can't be alone. I need tender loving care. I need some woman or man to caress me and to do the hokey pokey dance really well with me. No. The true stoic path isn't to reject relationships, but to turn down the ones, turn down the relationships or the ones that cost you your peace, your purpose, or your freedom. If getting into a relationship is going to cost you your peace because you're going to be dealing with somebody's melodramatic ways and craziness and excess emotional baggage, you got to be stupid. Yes, I said stupid to you. Well, I did it before, so I was stupid. And to, sacrifice your freedom. And this freedom is not about not being in jail and incarcerated, but I'm talking about this true freedom of you are the captain of your ship, and no sailor tells the captain how to steer his or her ship. Never. There's a saying in Spanish, donde manda capitán, no manda marinero, where the captain is the, let's say, the one that gives the orders, not the sailor. The sailor has no say. Just says, aye, aye, captain. So if you ever choose to have a partner in your life, allow it to become Allow it to be because that person adds value to your life, not because that person fills a void, a hole. No, they're not making you whole or making you complete. You should already be complete or whole. Hey, Lalita, what are you doing? I thought you had gone. There you go. So, number one, here are some things. Prioritize purpose. This is not negotiable. This is non-negotiable. Purpose is like the things you want to do for you in life, the things that make you happy-go-lucky, that you want to continue doing. And so you have to make it a priority. Your life, you don't sacrifice yourself for others. If you're that kind of person, you will never truly be happy. You brainwashed yourself into believing you're going to be happy and all that. I'm a simple person. Look, I got mud boots on. This is the way I dress, with sweatpants, mud boots, and old t-shirts. Well, this one I got in Nepal a year and a half ago, so it's not that old. And that's it. I don't comb my hair. I don't use gel. I don't use cologne. I never use deodorant, underarm deodorant, when I'm here at the country house. Only when I'm gonna go out. Just so I don't smell like Funky Cole Medina. That's Tone Loc. If y'all don't remember from the 80s, or you were not around in the 80s, now you know. So number two, value peace over companionship. Do not trade in your inner peace, your external peace, just to be with a man or a woman, to be living together, because to be living together sucks when both of you don't align, because you're getting on each other's nerves. You're crossing boundaries. You're not giving space. You're suffocating the other person, or both of you are suffocating each other. So it just sucks. So choose peace always. Always choose peace over companionship. Number three, date casually. Don't become committed. If you want a partner's energy around you, meaning a man's energy or a woman's energy around you, enjoy it without sacrificing your freedom. Be clear to that person that you're not fully committed. You don't want to live together. You don't want to get married, but you do want to spend time with each other, as long as both of you are aligned with these Stoic ways or these things. And Stoicism kind of gets a lot of stuff, Cirilo, from Hinduism and Buddhism, which is older than Stoicism. Talking about inner peace, tranquility. Don't sacrifice your self-worth and your self-respect and all of that for somebody else's satisfaction. You don't want to be singing that song by the Rolling Stones. Dun, 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 dun. I can't get no satisfaction, but I try, and I can't sing. Number four, keep emotional boundaries. Be supportive in the relationship if you are going to be with a man or a woman, because you want to have that partnership, you want to be in that relationship, but don't absorb that person's emotional baggage or their crazy, whatever they're going through and everything, and then you become, instead of supportive, you become the one that carries the burden of all that craziness, all those headaches that they're going through in life. You're just there to support, not to absorb. So be present, but don't carry their emotional baggage. Number five, oh, that was you, Kayla. Protect your Renaissance. Renaissance is not just the French period of art and sculpture and poetry, writing. Cirilo, relax. But protect your Renaissance, because you went through most of your life, if you are in your 50s like me or 60s and watching this and feeling that you're on the Stoic path, or whatever path you want to call it, whatever label you want to give it, and it took you so long to gain this inner peace, inner freedom, this way of yourself, understanding yourself really finally, and really seeing who you are and what you want and what you're doing, and you're happy with yourself, and you're not chasing after possessions or after fame and name and fortune and whatever. And then to just throw it all away, like that Phil Collins song or Genesis song, throwing it all away. Do, 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 do. Don't be stupid. So this stage of your life is rare and powerful. Don't let any person, including yourself, diminish it, reduce it, Kayla, or destroy it. Don't. So, in summary, I talked a little bit about Hinduism because I studied it a lot, really a lot. I was a Hare Krishna for 4.5 years or something, a bhakti yogi. I followed the way of Bhakti Yoga, the selfless devotion or selfless whatever, what is this? Selfless work? I forgot. Anyway, do not enter a relationship blindly. These are my final thoughts, and I got this from somewhere else. I got it from an article, and I'll leave the link to the article in the description box below. Do not enter a relationship blindly. You must understand. So I'm looking at you guys. You must understand. This is my teleprompter. It's a notebook. You must understand what is at stake, what is at play, what you're gambling, what you're going to possibly gamble away if you enter a relationship blindly. Freedom is priceless. Believe me, I know it. Because when I was in one long relationship with a woman, my freedom was like on the side because I was doing everything just to please her. And I was not doing things that I wanted to do for me as well. And I was just doing it all for her, doing it all for my baby, because she's as fine as she could be. That's a Huey Lewis and the News song. Purpose is everything. Peace is sacred. And the last thing here it says, guard these things fiercely. And that has been that. Until next time. Namaste. Namaskar. Que estén muy bien. Ciao. Before I let you go, I forgot what song that was, but where are you guys in this stuff in terms of the 7 habits of a highly stoic person, or just in general? Are you on the lower rung of stoicism, or are you on the higher rung, or in the middle rung? I don't really give a crap about measuring things, but some of you do. You want to see where you are, because most people like to measure themselves against others. I don't really care anymore. That's one of the stoic things. I don't care about competition. I don't care about what it is you think about me. But I'm not going to be fighting with you guys either. It's just patience and just letting those things bounce off. I still get angry here and there. Not as much as I used to or as often, but still. Anyway. What was that song? I think it was one of those R&B songs from the 90s when I was a college student. Before I let you go, can I get a kiss? I don't know if it was not Boyz II Men. What were the name of these groups that sang Comforter and everything? What was it? I forgot. I used to love listening to R&B, not B&B or R&R. I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a nap. When you're in your 50s, well, I love taking naps my whole life, but some people say you start taking naps when you get older. I remember now the name of the group is, or was, Shy. S-H-A-I. And like that country song back from the early 80s, if y'all don't like me at all, or very little, or you don't like this video because it was too long or whatever, just remember the song. Take this job and shove it. I ain't here to please you anymore. I done saved up my last few bucks, and I'm just storming out of here.